My name's Scott Allie. I'm an editor at Dark Horse Comics. I'm here at the New York City Comic-Con at the Javits Center with Arvid Nelson, the writer of Rex Mundi, and a lot of other stuff. Rex Mundi recently was picked up by Johnny Depp for a film production. Any updates on that?
Yeah, the screenwriter for that is Jim Ulls.
Who wrote Fight Club?
Yeah, he wrote the screenplay to Fight Club. I've never read Fight Club, but my understanding is that before Fight Club was made into a movie, people said, oh, it's totally impossible. Right, unfilmable. But Jim Ulls, I think, did a great job making it into a screenplay. So we'll see what he does. I'm really excited. He should be done literally within a week or two.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm so excited to see the screenplay.
So if the screenplay gets finished and gets accepted, then you're totally on the road again.
I think so. I mean, God, I feel like my job with the movie, I'm kind of like Voltron's left foot, you know what I mean? Like, I have to do what the Black Lion tells me to do. So, I can't say anything about what'll happen. Okay, all right. It's a little Voltron reference for you kids out there. Yeah, I don't know. I would hope so. It looks promising, but it's Hollywood. I guess that's the way Hollywood is. Everything can go very, very badly at any moment. So,
cut that part.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rex Mundi issue 23rd issue of that is just about to come out. Is that right?
That's right.
5th issue with Dark Horse, 23rd issue of the series. We got 3 trade paperbacks out. And we're right about to launch a new series, a new creator-owned series with Arvid that will be debuting in Free Comic Book Day in May. It's called Zero Killer. What are you gesturing for? It'll be debuting in Free Comic Book Day in May, and it's called Zero Killer. It's set in New York, but it's sort of an alternate reality version of New York.
Yeah, that's right. Like, Rex Mundi is an alternate history, but Zero Killer is an alternate present. The basic premise is this, is what if we didn't drop atom bombs on Japan to end World War II? How different would the world be today? And it would be very different. So that's the take. Present day New York City, different social circumstances,
But the story is not of like a big global political nature. The main character is kind of a gutter rat kind of guy who preys off people. He's kind of like a bounty hunter thief type who just takes missions and goes out on missions of dubious reality, and he becomes the central character of the story.
Right, I mean, for me, when I write a story, I love constructing a world, but I feel like it's so important to keep the story about the characters. And if you try to get too involved in the world and explaining to people how cool and how smart you are about how great and wonderful this world you've constructed is, it's just really boring.
Yeah.
I think it has to be about the character, and that's my goal anyways with Zero Killer. I think if it's going to succeed, it'll succeed for that reason.
And it's funny, the first thing you said about it just now was that what if we hadn't dropped bombs on Japan?
Right.
But you don't like.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that you even say that, because you never hear that in the first issue. I don't know if we'll ever be told that in the series. That's part of the setting of the world, but it's not what the story's about. The story takes place in that world, which is radically different. Is it okay to tell them what's wrong in New York?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, why don't you tell them?
Okay.
In the early 70s?
Yeah, the idea is, in 1973, the Yom Kippur War goes really badly for Israel because the Soviet Union is more powerful because they were able to invade Japan and set up a communist state in northern Japan. So, blah, blah. So what that means is Israel is able to, they have to launch a nuclear strike against Tehran and Damascus because the Iranians have allied themselves with the Soviets. And the United States responds by nuking the Soviet Union, and it turns into a Holocaust. So when the bombs hit New York City, it causes liquefaction of the island bedrock. It sinks into New York Harbor about, I don't know, maybe 20, 21 stories or so. So you just have these skeletal buildings poking up out of the water like giant cypresses.
All of them looking like they could tumble at any minute.
Right.
And some do.
Right, and the idea is that different gangs, each building, each tower is inhabited by a different gang. It's kind of like the Warriors. Each gang has its own logo, has its own name, its own culture, its own way of dressing, and they all engage in kind of warfare. And they're all sort of dying off too, because obviously everything's irradiated. So it's sort of the slowly poison is leaching up the towers and is eventually going to annihilate these people. And the main character Zero wants to escape from all of that, obviously. So that's the rest of the story.
He's gonna build a boat.
That's right.
Now Arvid's world building and his like political focus, but his ability to do the political stuff without making it all about the political stuff led me to hire him to write Cull for us. It's your first work for hire job for us.
Right.
You're doing some for other people, right?
That's right.
But Cull is going to launch at the end of this year as a 5 or 6 issue limited series, and we're going to continue to do more series as we go forward. Cull, of course, is Robert E. Howard's other famous barbarian character, who's a lot like Conan, but different in important ways that we're really going to focus on. And yeah, Arvid has just had his plot approved, his plot for the series and for the first issue, so you're starting to write.
Yes, I am. And it's so cool working with Conan Properties. Everyone's been really on board. I feel like we're all in sync about what we're doing, and I'm so excited to start. I think it's going to be just awesome.
Yeah, starting Conan a few years ago, the Conan Properties guys were extremely supportive, extremely easy to deal with, and they're giving us a lot of the same treatment on Cull. They're really sticking by us and really letting us build the world. With Cull, you have much fewer stories than you did with Conan. It's a different world. You're building more for less, and they're helping us, getting out of our way and letting us really build something that we think is going to work as a great comic series that hopefully we'll be doing for years. All right, I think so. We're doing a Conan panel in a little while. We've made the announcement about Arvid and his creative team on Cull, which is Arvid writing it. Andy Brace is a brilliant artist who's done a lot of work for Wizards of the Coast. He's doing covers and he's going to help design a lot of the world. And Will Conrad, who's currently doing Conan and the Midnight God for us, is going to be the interior artist for the series. And that launches at the end of the year. Zero Killer, you can check that out in Free Comic Book Day. And Rex Mundi, there's 3 trade paperbacks out that you should jump into. Thanks.
Thank you.